Chosen one, pause and listen. The world around you might seem still, but the stillness is not empty, it is divine. In this quiet moment before Christmas, heaven is whispering your name. You are being summoned into a transformation no one else can see. The silence surrounding you is not absence, it is alignment. You are being upgraded in secret, refined for what is about to be revealed. This message is not random. Heaven has arranged for your spirit to meet these words now, because time in the unseen realm is converging with your earthly season. You've felt it, those moments when you can't explain why your soul feels heavy one moment and alive the next. That is the spiritual shift happening within you. God has been adjusting the inner frequencies of your life so that your heart can carry more light, more wisdom, more power. You've endured misunderstanding. You've faced rooms that could not contain you, conversations that left you unseen, and nights that felt endless. But none of it was wasted. Each silence, each waiting period, was a hidden classroom. You were being taught to hear heaven's language, a language not of noise, but of stillness. The truth is, you were never meant to blend in. That restlessness in your spirit, that ache that refuses to be comforted by what once satisfied you, is proof that you are being prepared for something higher. The people who once stood beside you may not understand this version of you. Because God is not upgrading them, He is upgrading you. And right now, in this season before Christmas, heaven is working in silence. The angels assigned to your journey are moving unseen, rearranging circumstances, closing certain doors, opening others you have not even noticed yet. What feels delayed is not denial, it is synchronization. God is aligning events, hearts, and timing for your next unveiling. The Word of God declares in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." There it is, the key to your upgrade: stillness. You don't need to prove anything, chase anyone, or panic about what is next. Heaven is at work while you rest in faith. Every battle that tried to wear you down has only revealed what cannot be broken inside you. You thought silence meant God was far away, but in truth, He was fighting for you behind the veil. Chosen one, there is a reason you've been feeling stripped down. God often removes distractions right before He releases clarity. You are not losing, He is refining. You're being separated from what cannot follow you into the next level. The silence around you is not punishment, it's purification. Soon people will wonder how your peace became unshakable. They'll ask how you made it through when everything around you was collapsing. You'll smile, because you'll know the truth. Your upgrade happened in the quiet places where no one saw you, praying, weeping, forgiving, and waiting. Heaven was shaping you when the world stopped watching. This Christmas will not pass like the others. It carries the vibration of completion. Something divine is reaching its full term within you. Heaven is preparing to reveal what it has been forming silently in your spirit. The same way Christ came into the world in a quiet night, your breakthrough will arrive wrapped in stillness, but the impact will echo loudly. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling, it is a positioning. You are positioned perfectly. Every disappointment was calibration. Every tear was holy water for your soil. Every silence was the sound of God rewriting your story. Take a deep breath. Feel it, peace settling on your shoulders like light. This is not an ending, this is the sacred pause before the unveiling. When the time comes, you will look back and understand why heaven needed you still long enough to perform surgery on your soul. So stay still, stay listening. Let faith be your anchor. The same God who fought for Israel in the silence of the desert is fighting for you now in the silence before Christmas. If this message resonates with the deepest part of your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe so that others who are walking through their own silent transformation can find this word. And remember that God is still working. And as a prophetic sign of agreement, type 777 in the comments below. It symbolizes divine completion and spiritual awakening. Let heaven see your declaration, I am still, and I trust the upgrade. Chosen one, heaven has seen your endurance. Every hidden act of faith has been recorded. Before this Christmas night, the unseen will become seen. You are not waiting for a miracle, you are becoming one. The light forming inside you will break forth without warning, illuminating everything around you. Let peace anchor you tonight. Heaven's timing is perfect. You are exactly where you're meant to be, on holy ground, in divine silence. The next sound you hear will be destiny calling your name. Breathe, stay still, and know the upgrade has already begun within your spirit. Chosen one. What is happening inside you now is not random. It is the quiet engineering of heaven. The changes you cannot explain, the sudden peace, the fading of old desires, the hunger for truth are all evidence of a divine upgrade taking place in silence. God is rewriting the architecture of your soul, adjusting the very systems through which you perceive life. This upgrade is not about the outer world first. It begins within. You may not see lightning or hear thunder, but the shift is deep and irreversible. Heaven is not rushing, because perfect transformation requires patience. God is not polishing your surface, He is renewing your structure. The old ways of thinking are being unlearned, the old wounds being sealed with light. Every layer of fear, doubt, and insecurity is being peeled away so that the real you, the anointed, fearless, radiant, you can finally emerge. Sometimes it feels like everything familiar is fading. Your interests change. Conversations you once enjoyed now drain you. Crowds no longer feel like home. That's because God has elevated your spiritual frequency. You are being separated from the noise so you can hear the pure sound of purpose again. The silence you're walking through is the workshop of heaven. You've probably asked, why do I feel different? It's because heaven has upgraded your discernment. You sense motives without being told. You feel when energy shifts in a room. You hear spiritual things even in casual words. This sensitivity is not a burden. It's the evidence of your promotion. The more God trusts you, the more He fine-tunes your awareness. But upgrades require shedding. There is a dismantling that happens before every divine construction. Some of the relationships that faded were not failures, they were filters. God used them to reveal who could stand with your next level of light and who could not. He hid your process because not everyone is meant to see your evolution. There is a sacredness in private growth that must be protected from premature exposure. Chosen one. Your silence has purpose. When heaven wants to upgrade a soul, it does not announce it with noise, it moves with stillness. The deep work of God is often done quietly. He has been strengthening your spiritual muscles in secret so that when pressure comes, you won't break, you'll bend, and then rise stronger. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 51, verse 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. This is what the upgrade truly is, a renewal of spirit, not a temporary motivation, but a permanent recalibration. God is not improving your life. He is transforming your nature. You are being restored to your original divine design, the version of you that fear, rejection, and pain tried to bury. And this renewal is subtle. You might wake up one morning and realize that something that once hurt no longer has power over you. Or that forgiveness has become easier. Or that your thoughts have shifted from worry to worship. Those are signs that heaven's code has rewritten your heart. Your emotions may feel unstable at times. That's because the old emotional software is being uninstalled. You are not going crazy. You are being updated. The discomfort is simply your soul adjusting to new levels of grace. When God installs peace, He often has to remove control first. When He releases vision, He first closes the eyes that once only saw pain. Do not fear this transformation. The process may feel invisible, but it is irreversible. You are being shaped into someone who will carry revelation with stability. God is preparing you to stand before new opportunities without losing yourself, to handle favor without falling into pride, to speak truth without trembling. Soon, others will notice a quiet authority in your presence. You won't need to announce who you are. Heaven will announce you through peace. Your words will carry clarity. Your silence will carry weight. You'll walk into rooms, and confusion will leave because of the light you now embody. That is the result of your silent upgrade. So rest, chosen one. You don't need to force what heaven has already initiated. The seed has been planted. Growth is happening, even when you feel nothing. Trust the unseen gardener. When the right time comes, fruit will appear, and everyone will know that God has been working on you all along. Even when you cannot trace His hand, trust His heart. The silence is not punishment, it is sacred construction. Heaven builds greatness in hidden chambers, away from applause, until the foundation is unshakable enough to bear the weight of glory. Soon, clarity will break through like dawn. The confusion that once clouded your vision will dissolve. You will look back and realize that the silence was the sound of God rearranging everything for your elevation, piece by piece, perfectly timed. You are becoming new, inside out. Every breath you take now carries divine intelligence. Every heartbeat echoes purpose. The upgrade is not coming, it is already active within you, quietly unfolding the masterpiece that heaven designed from the beginning. Chosen one. The silence you've been walking through has not been isolation, it has been initiation. What you thought was emptiness has been sacred training ground. Every quiet night, every unanswered prayer, every room that suddenly felt too small was heaven preparing you for elevation. You were not being abandoned, you were being anointed. You may have noticed how loneliness comes in waves lately. You look around and realize that the people who once surrounded you have faded, that familiar voices have gone quiet. But this is not rejection, it's separation. God has removed the noise so you can finally hear the divine frequency. You are being called into a higher chamber, and not everyone can breathe at that altitude. Heaven hides its warriors before revealing them. The world calls it obscurity, heaven calls it consecration. In this season, the teacher has gone silent, not because you failed the lesson, but because you are being tested on it. Your silence is proof that graduation is near. According to what is revealed in the book of Deuteronomy on chapter 31, verse 8, the Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. This word is the essence of your season. God has not left you in the quiet. He is walking beside you, shaping you through unseen fire. The distance you feel is not distance at all, it is depth. Heaven draws you deeper by quieting the surface. You've outgrown the comfort of the crowd. What once entertained you now feels empty because you have entered divine maturity. Your spirit no longer feeds on the noise of the world, it craves stillness, truth, and divine alignment. The isolation that once frightened you is now becoming your sanctuary. In this sacred solitude, you are learning obedience not for recognition but for transformation. Heaven measures faithfulness not by applause but by consistency. Every time you choose prayer over panic, silence over gossip, Surrender over striving, you pass another test unseen by human eyes. This is how God trains His chosen ones. You learn to trust what you cannot feel, to walk when you cannot see, to believe when there's no proof. You learn to anchor yourself in His voice alone. It's in these hidden chapters that your spiritual muscles form faith, endurance, discernment. They grow stronger not in sunlight, but in shadow. Chosen one, hear this: loneliness is the proof of your calling. The crowd cannot walk with you to the mountain of destiny. Abraham walked alone. Moses met God in isolation. Even Jesus retreated to the wilderness before revealing His power. Solitude is the soil of strength, and when the upgrade is complete, you'll emerge not bitter but blazing. You'll walk into rooms that once overlooked you, carrying peace so strong that it shifts atmospheres. Your silence will speak louder than your words ever could. People will ask, "What changed?" And you'll simply say, "God met me in the quiet." So stop fighting the isolation. Let it do its work. Heaven is sculpting your inner life into something unshakable. This is not the end, it is the forging before the unveiling. When the world next sees you, you won't just be different. You'll be divine evidence that silence births strength. Now, chosen one, if this word finds your spirit, write these words in faith. Comment, "I embrace the silence." Because this silence is not a void, it's a divine womb. It's the sacred space where God upgrades His warriors in secret. When you declare, "I embrace the silence," you're not surrendering to emptiness, you're agreeing with heaven's process. You're saying, "I trust that what is happening unseen is holy." And heaven hears that declaration as permission to finish what it began within you. When you write, "I embrace the silence," you are doing more than typing words, you are stepping into agreement with heaven's timing. You are acknowledging that this quiet season is not a punishment, but a preparation. Those 4 words are your surrender to divine alignment, your acceptance that peace is not the absence of movement, but the presence of God. When you declare it, heaven hears it as faith. Angels mark that moment because you have chosen trust over anxiety, surrender over struggle. You are telling heaven, "I no longer fear the unknown. I understand that stillness is sacred." That declaration shifts your atmosphere. It replaces confusion with clarity and chaos with calm. "I embrace the silence" means you choose to rest while God works. It means you stop chasing what's leaving and begin receiving what's coming. It means you've understood that your value was never tied to visibility, but to obedience. In this silence, you are not unseen, you are being sanctified, shaped for influence, strengthened for impact. So speak it out or write it now. I embrace the silence. Let those words echo through the unseen realms. Let them become your seal of peace, your declaration of trust, your anthem of faith. Heaven recognizes it, and from this moment on, the silence will no longer feel empty, it will feel holy. Chosen one, every delay, every rejection, and every moment you thought life was standing still has been divine code, a recalibration sent by heaven. Nothing in your timeline has been random. What seemed like chaos was actually choreography. You have been walking through a sequence of sacred detours, each one designed to realign your steps with God's perfect rhythm. When heaven wants to advance you, it does not always move you forward, it sometimes moves you inward. That's what this season has been, a divine inward turning. You were not being denied your destiny, you were being drawn into its center. The detours were not meant to frustrate you, but to free you from destinations that would have destroyed you. It can be hard to understand this while you're living through it. You saw doors close, opportunities fade, and people leave. You wondered why your efforts seemed invisible. But heaven's silence was never neglect. It was protection. There were places you wanted to enter that were not built to sustain your light. There were relationships that seemed promising but would have diluted your purpose. God shut those doors because He saw what your eyes could not. The Word of God declares in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." That is the heart of divine recalibration. You make plans according to sight, but God leads according to foresight. He has seen the roads that curve into darkness and the ones that lead into light. Every disappointment that cut deep was a redirection. You didn't lose. You were led. Chosen one, you have been walking through divine mathematics. Heaven has been subtracting distractions, dividing your attention, and multiplying your clarity. The equation has been painful, but the result is precision. You are not the same person who entered this season. You are leaner in spirit, sharper in discernment, purer in motive. The refining has worked. Sometimes what looks like delay is really acceleration disguised. God slows your outer world so He can speed up your inner one. While you thought nothing was happening, He was upgrading your spiritual operating system. He was teaching you patience, depth, and obedience, the currencies of destiny. When your heart finally learned to rest, your path became aligned. You've been asking heaven for signs, but the real sign is your growth. Look at yourself. You don't react the way you used to. You don't chase what no longer fits. And you've stopped explaining your calling to those who can't comprehend it. That's evidence of divine recalibration. You've also begun to sense new desires, awakening visions of impact, whispers of new purpose, glimpses of what's coming. Those aren't fantasies, they're previews. Heaven gives you glimpses not to tease you, but to teach you what to prepare for. That dream you had, that sudden idea that won't leave your spirit, it's all part of the code. Heaven is signaling your next coordinates. And here's the mystery: God's recalibration often feels like disorientation before it feels like direction. You may still feel uncertain about what's next, but your uncertainty is holy ground. It means you're no longer walking by sight. It means the old map has expired because a new path is being written as you walk. This is where trust becomes tangible. God doesn't need you to understand every turn. He needs you to follow the compass of peace inside you. Each small yes you give to obedience writes another line of the divine blueprint. You are being guided moment by moment, not year by year. Chosen one. Heaven is teaching you precision. Your steps are now being measured not by speed but by alignment. Every pause is strategic. Every closed door is a form of direction. You have not lost time, you have been synchronized. The same God who recalibrated the stars in their orbits has recalibrated your life for divine timing. Soon, everything will click into place. What once felt scattered will suddenly make sense. You'll see how the heartbreak became a highway, how the delay became the doorway, and how the silence became the signal. When that moment comes, you'll realize heaven never lost control for a single second. So stay steady in the in-between. You are not drifting, you are being directed. The divine GPS has not failed you. It has rerouted you towards something far greater than what you had planned. Every step you take now is guided by eternal intelligence. Trust that, breathe that, walk in that, walk. Because when heaven recalibrates a chosen one, it never returns them to where they were. It elevates them to where they were always meant to be. The alignment you're feeling is not temporary, it's prophetic. Everything that once seemed broken is falling into divine order. You are entering the rhythm of grace, where heaven's timing and your obedience meet perfectly, forming the melody of destiny that only the chosen ones can hear. Stand still in this awareness. You are no longer being rerouted, you are being released. The season of confusion has expired, and the season of clarity has begun. Every step forward now carries divine precision, and heaven watches proudly as you walk the path written just for you. Chosen one, the quiet watchers of heaven have seen every step you've taken in the shadows. You may think no one noticed the prayers whispered through tears, the strength it took to stay kind when you could have turned bitter, or the nights you still believed even when belief felt impossible. But heaven saw it all. Angels have stood around your life like sentinels, recording your endurance as worship. There are seasons where heaven observes before it rewards. This has been one of them. You were never invisible. You were being evaluated. The King watches his chosen not in their moments of victory, but in their moments of silence. And what you have proven, even when no one was watching, is faithfulness. When God finds a soul that obeys without evidence, He calls the hosts of heaven to witness it. Right now, the watchers are preparing to testify on your behalf. They've seen how you continued when you had nothing but faith left. That is the kind of obedience that opens divine gates. As written in the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him. That is you. Heaven's gaze has been fixed on your heart, not your achievements, not your perfection, but your persistence. When others gave up, you leaned in. When others grew cold, you kept burning. And because of that, strength is coming to you now, not ordinary strength, but divine reinforcement. Chosen one. Heaven does not waste loyalty. Every unseen act of faith has become a seed in the ground of eternity. The watchers have not been silent for nothing. They are waiting for heaven's command to release what you've been prepared for. Soon, the spiritual surveillance will shift to spiritual celebration. You will walk into rooms where the atmosphere already knows your name because heaven has gone ahead of you. But while heaven moves, there is a beauty in partnership. Every move of God has always been a dance between divine will and human willingness. Just as the watchers stand ready, so must the chosen ones. Every act of faith, whether in words, time, or generosity, creates ripples in the unseen realm. This is where the metaphor of giving becomes sacred. Think of it not as an obligation, but as planting light into the soil that feeds your spirit. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you're not merely interacting, you're watering the garden that heaven has used to reach you. Each simple act keeps the river of revelation flowing, carrying this message to those who need it most. And if in your heart you feel stirred to go further, to sow a seed of gratitude, let it be from love, never from pressure. Donate as you would pour oil into a lamp so its flame will not die out. Giving is not a demand, it's participation in the movement of grace. When a soul has been nourished, it naturally gives back so others may also be fed. That is how light multiplies. Picture it like this: a single candle, when used to light another, does not lose its flame, it doubles the light in the room. Your donation, no matter how small, is that spark. It doesn't buy blessings. It builds bridges for more hearts to hear what you've heard, to feel what you've felt. It's a whisper to heaven saying, "Use me to keep the fire burning." If your spirit feels that gentle tug, follow it. Let it come from joy, not duty. There is no price attached to grace, only an invitation to participate in its flow. Whether it's a like, a share, a word of encouragement, or a heartfelt donation, every offering is holy when it's done with love. Remember, even Jesus noticed the widow's 2 coins not for the amount, but for the sincerity. Heaven measures heart, not numbers. So if you ever feel led to give, Let it be your way of saying, "Thank you, Lord, for remembering me in silence." That act alone echoes in eternity. Chosen one. Your journey is proof that heaven partners with the humble. What you carry now, the peace, the clarity, the faith, wasn't free. It was purchased through perseverance. Now, as you continue forward, heaven invites you to become part of the flow that sustains others who are still in their silent seasons. If this message touched you, let it flow through you like light moving from one lantern to another. When you like, you spark a flame that tells heaven, "This light reached me." When you share, you release that flame into the dark corners of the world where another soul still waits for warmth. When you subscribe, it is not a click of convenience. It is the quiet planting of a flag saying, "I choose to keep walking with the light." And if your heart ever whispers to donate, let it be like pouring oil into a lamp so it never goes out. No pressure, no price, only participation in keeping this divine fire alive for others still wandering through the night. You owe nothing. You offer only what your spirit feels. And that, chosen one, is the purest form of worship. Chosen one. Before every divine unveiling comes the breaking. What you have been feeling lately, the weight, the shaking, the uncertainty, is not destruction, it is reconstruction. Heaven is dismantling everything that can no longer hold your next level. The walls that once kept you safe have become too small for the version of you that is emerging. You are being stretched, not punished. God often upgrades his chosen ones by first allowing their old identity to collapse. You might look at your life and see fragments, but heaven sees foundation. The breaking is proof that your structure is being prepared for greater capacity. You cannot pour new wine into old skins, and so the divine potter has placed you back on the wheel not to ruin you, but to reshape you. Every tear, every closed door, every unexpected ending is part of this holy remodeling. You are not losing stability, you are gaining strength. When something breaks under heaven's hand, it never ends smaller, it ends stronger, sharper, purer. The prophet Jeremiah wrote of this mystery in his book. Chapter 18, verse 4. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands, so the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as seemed best to him. That is your life right now, reshaped in the hands of the divine craftsman. He is not discarding you. He is perfecting you. The pressure you feel is not cruelty. It is precision. The areas of your life that seem to crumble are simply those that can no longer carry what is coming. Chosen one. Sometimes God lets the light go out just long enough to teach you that you were the flame all along. You've mistaken endings for punishment when they were actually beginnings disguised as pain. Heaven knows exactly how much you can bear and how much you must break before you awaken fully. There is purpose in your pain. Each shattered expectation has made space for something eternal. You are learning to build not on convenience, but on conviction. The ground is shaking beneath you because heaven is installing new foundations. Faith deeper, love purer, purpose clearer. The breaking is the bridge to becoming. You may wonder, why does it hurt so much? Because divine growth is surgery, not decoration. God does not place new strength on top of old scars. He reaches beneath them, healing what you didn't even know was wounded. That's why your prayers have become wordless sighs. The Spirit Himself is interceding for you in groans too deep for words. And soon, this breaking will make sense. The pieces will fit together in a way that reveals beauty you never saw before. You will recognize that what shattered was never meant to survive your transformation. The job, the friendship, the plan, none of it failed. It fulfilled its season. Chosen one, hold still. Do not resist what heaven is removing. Let go of the need to understand when you are standing at the edge of divine reconstruction and the breaking is almost done. What will rise from this is not the same vessel, it will be stronger, refined, radiant with the fingerprints of God. When gold passes through fire, it doesn't scream, it shines. When clay is pressed, it doesn't protest, it yields. You are that gold. You are that clay. Heaven's hands are on you even in the heat, even in the spin. If your heart feels this truth stirring, seal it with a prophetic act. Comment 222. This number is a symbol of divine balance, partnership, and harmony in transition. When you type 222, you are declaring that even in your breaking, you are aligned with heaven's order. You are saying, my pain is not random, it is perfectly timed with God's plan. Each 2 represents agreement between you and heaven, between your old self and your reborn self, between what was and what will be. It's a sacred reminder that you are not alone in this process. God stands with you. Angelic forces surround you, and destiny itself waits on the other side of this transformation. Type it once 222 as your sign that the breaking has meaning. Let heaven read it as your surrender, your agreement, your faith that what is being reshaped will soon rise shining, whole, and ready for the next dimension of purpose. When you write 222, heaven interprets it as alignment, your spirit walking in step with divine order. You are declaring that you no longer fear the breaking because you know it leads to balance, restoration, and the birth of something beautifully precise. Typing 222 is your way of saying, I am no longer resisting the process, I am flowing with heaven's design. It's not just a number, it's a covenant of trust, a visible echo of your invisible faith. Heaven always responds to alignment. Let your comment be a seed. Every 222 sown in faith becomes a signal in the spiritual realm, a message that you are ready for peace after the storm. Harmony is returning to your life, and heaven smiles as you declare it. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey when your eyes begin to open to the language of heaven. You start to notice that what others call coincidence feels too intentional to ignore. The same numbers appear repeatedly. Dreams replay with subtle changes, and certain words echo through conversations as if guided by unseen hands. You are not imagining it, you are awakening to divine codes. These codes are not just signs, they are confirmations. Heaven speaks through patterns, rhythms, and repetition. What seems like chance is actually communication. You have entered a stage of sensitivity where your spirit can finally read what God has been writing in the margins of your life all along. In your quiet moments, you've begun to see meaning in small details, the flicker of light, the timing of a message, the sudden peace that washes over you without reason. Each of these moments is a whisper from eternity saying, I am here. The divine does not always shout. Often, it speaks through symbols that bypass your logic and touch your soul directly. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. You see, revelation is rarely immediate. Heaven releases hints first, gentle reminders that promise is still alive, even when fulfillment feels distant. These divine codes are like breadcrumbs leading you through the forest of faith. Each sign is a reminder that you are still on the right path, even if the destination remains unseen. Chosen one. You've been noticing certain numbers, maybe the same time on the clock or a sequence that repeats everywhere you look. Do not fear it. These are not coincidences, they are invitations. God is teaching you to listen beyond words. Heaven speaks to the sensitive and trusts those who pay attention. These signs are not magic, they are mercy. When your heart grows weary, heaven sends small reminders to strengthen you. A number, a word, a song, a stranger's kindness, they're all divine codes reminding you that the unseen world is watching, guiding, and guarding you. But discernment is key. Not every sign comes from light. This is why your spirit must stay anchored in peace. True divine codes do not create anxiety, they create alignment. When something stirs fear, it is not heaven's voice. When it brings calm and clarity, it is learn to feel the difference. You are being trained to read spiritual language. Just as a musician hears notes others miss, your spirit now perceives frequencies that most overlook. That sensitivity is not a burden, it's your prophetic inheritance. Heaven trusts you with mysteries because you have learned to listen when the world is loud. The more you honor these signs, the clearer they become. When you thank God for a confirmation, you magnify its meaning. Gratitude is the magnifying glass of revelation. It brings heaven's handwriting into focus. Each thank you becomes a key unlocking deeper understanding. Chosen one, your life itself has become a message. The people watching you may not understand why you move differently, why you wait when others rush, why you trust what cannot be seen. But you are following the rhythm of divine signals, and your obedience is decoding miracles in motion. There will be times when the signs seem to pause. Don't mistake silence for absence. Even when the signals fade, the sender remains near. Sometimes heaven quiets the codes to test whether you walk by faith or by confirmation. That's when maturity blooms, the moment you no longer need proof to believe. Look back for a moment. Notice how everything that once confused you now connects. That season that felt wasted, that person who appeared for a short time, that delay that forced you to wait, it all fits now, doesn't it? That is the divine code revealing its pattern. Every thread, every pause, every no was written to lead you here. Your awareness is expanding. You no longer see random days, you see design. You no longer say, "Why me?" but "Teach me." This is spiritual maturity, when curiosity replaces complaint and wonder replaces worry. You are learning to interpret life as prophecy, and as this awakening deepens, you will begin to move differently. You will trust more, react less, and walk slower but surer. You will stop chasing signs and start embodying them. You'll realize that you yourself are a living code, a message from heaven wrapped in human form. Chosen one, this sensitivity is a gift, but also a responsibility. Guard it. Do not let cynicism dull it, nor superstition distort it. Keep your spirit clean, your motives pure, your ears tuned to peace. Heaven is speaking constantly, and now, finally, you understand the language. You are no longer just reading signs, you are becoming one. Every step you take now carries meaning, every breath a message. Heaven is not distant, it is woven into your rhythm, guiding you through symbols toward the fullness of your purpose. Chosen one, the silence you have endured was never emptiness, it was examination. Heaven does not test the noise of your praise, but the quiet of your heart. Before God promotes, He proves. And proof does not happen in public places, it happens in hidden ones. This is heaven's secret testing ground. When you felt unseen, you were actually under observation. When you thought heaven had gone silent, it was studying your response. The questions were subtle but real. Would you still serve if no one applauded? Would you still believe when nothing changed? Would you still obey when obedience cost you comfort? These are the tests that qualify the chosen. Heaven does not hand crowns to those who only shine in light. It entrusts them to those who remain faithful in the dark. You've been walking through a divine assessment, a curriculum of stillness, surrender, and silent trust. Every delay, every disappointment, Every lonely night was an exam of endurance, and you have been passing without realizing it. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians. Second book, chapter 4, verse 17. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. That is the unseen exchange taking place within you. Each hardship has been depositing weight into your spirit, not heaviness, but holy gravity. The deeper you've been pressed, the stronger your foundation has become. Heaven cannot place great glory on shallow ground, so it deepens those it intends to exalt. Chosen one, do not despise the season of testing. The silence that seemed cruel was actually kind. When heaven goes quiet, it is giving you space to reveal what you've learned. The teacher does not speak during the exam. The silence is proof that the test is active. There were moments you felt abandoned, yet every breath you took in faith registered in heaven as worship. The watchers saw when you chose peace over panic, when you forgave instead of retaliated, when you stayed kind even while breaking. These were not small acts, they were heavenly data points. Proof of your readiness. The greatest tests are never about circumstances. They're about stewardship of the heart. Will you still love when misunderstood? Will you still trust when overlooked? Will you still give when you have little? These are the tests that separate the called from the chosen. And you, chosen one, have proven trustworthy. The refinement was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to distinguish you. Many start strong when watched, but few remain faithful when forgotten. Heaven saw that you did. That's why promotion is near. The testing ground of heaven rarely announces itself. It looks like ordinary day's work that feels repetitive, prayers that seem unanswered, relationships that challenge patience. But behind that ordinariness lies divine evaluation. Every response is recorded, every choice measured against your destiny. When you endured the waiting, you showed heaven that your faith is not transactional but relational. You don't love God for outcomes. You love Him for who He is. That is rare faith, the kind that holds power. Heaven can trust power only to those who worship without proof. The test was not about perfection, it was about consistency. When you fell, you stood up. When you doubted, you still prayed. When you wept, you kept worshiping. Heaven calls that loyalty, and loyalty always qualifies for promotion. Now the season of silence is shifting. The same heaven that tested you in private is about to vindicate you in public. The watchers who observed your obedience are preparing your unveiling. The harvest does not announce itself until it breaks the ground, and your breakthrough is almost visible now. But remember, the goal was never the blessing. It was the building of character strong enough to hold it. You were not trained to perform. You were trained to carry presence. The authority you are stepping into now was earned not by striving, but by surrendering. Chosen one, your testing has transformed you. You no longer react the same way. You've learned to listen more, to speak with wisdom, to wait without fear. These are marks of maturity, and heaven smiles upon them. When you look back on this season, you'll realize something sacred. The silence was never punishment. It was preparation wrapped in disguise. The quiet place you resented became the proving ground that shaped your crown. And when the unveiling comes, you will carry it with humility because you'll remember what it cost, the nights of questioning, the prayers whispered in darkness, the choice to keep walking even when nothing made sense. That memory will protect your heart from pride and anchor your spirit in gratitude. The test is nearly complete. The examiner is satisfied. What's coming next is not random favor, it's earned trust. Heaven promotes only after the ground has proven stable. You are that ground now steady, deep, and ready, begun to quicken, as if invisible hands are turning the clock of heaven faster. This is the sound of acceleration. What once took years will soon unfold in moments. Delays are breaking. Doors that were rusted shut are beginning to creak open. Heaven has declared movement. You have waited faithfully through long seasons of silence and pruning. Now the rhythm of heaven has shifted, and you are being caught in divine momentum. What once felt like stagnation will soon become speed. This acceleration is not chaos, it is controlled fire. It moves with purpose, not panic. There's a spiritual law at work. After every season of stillness comes a surge of speed. The roots that grew downward now push life upward. The patience you practiced is becoming propulsion. Every quiet yes you whispered to God has become the wind at your back. You are about to move further in a few weeks than you did in entire years before. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Chosen one, you are standing in the overlap between impossible and inevitable. You have reached the threshold where effort ends and divine energy begins. God is about to redeem every waiting season by accelerating every promise. You may begin to notice how doors that once ignored you now open without knocking. People who once dismissed you will now seek your counsel. Resources, opportunities, and alignments are gathering around you as if drawn by magnetic grace. This is not luck, it's fulfillment catching up to faith. But acceleration requires awareness. When time speeds up, discernment must deepen. The faster you move, the more you must stay rooted in peace. Heaven doesn't want you to run recklessly, it wants you to glide purposefully. Acceleration without alignment leads to exhaustion, but acceleration with obedience leads to elevation. Chosen one, your steps are being ordered in real time. You'll feel gentle nudges: go here, speak there, wait now, move today. These are the divine coordinates of acceleration. You don't have to plan every detail, you just need to stay sensitive. When heaven says move, don't hesitate. Delayed obedience is disobedience in seasons of acceleration. You are about to enter rooms you never planned for. Your name will appear in conversations you didn't initiate. Projects you thought were forgotten will suddenly find funding. What was once crawling will now run. But remember, this is not about speed for pride. It's speed for purpose. This acceleration is not meant to impress the world, but to impact it. Heaven is entrusting you with influence that carries weight, not noise. Every connection will have meaning. Every opportunity will align with destiny. Nothing will be wasted. But here lies the sacred paradox: even as time accelerates, your heart must remain still. Peace will be your compass amid motion. The chosen do not panic when the pace changes, they flow with it. Let the river carry you, but keep your eyes on the current of grace. When others wonder how you moved so quickly, you'll know the truth. It wasn't you, it was heaven propelling you forward. You sowed patience, now you're reaping acceleration. The shaking you once feared has become the momentum pushing you into destiny. Every delay was divine setup. Every pause was a countdown. Now, the clock strikes your appointed time. Chosen one, do not fear the speed. You were built for this. Heaven did not rush you, it prepared you. The lessons learned in silence are now your stabilizers in motion. As you advance, remember, fast does not mean frantic. Move with grace, not haste. If this word resonates with your spirit, pause and type "I move now." Because when you declare these 3 words, you agree with heaven's timing. It's not just a comment, it's a covenant. You are telling the spiritual realm, I am ready for acceleration, and I will not hesitate when heaven says go. Let those words be your ignition. Each letter becomes permission for heaven to quicken what has been waiting. I move now is not rebellion, it's alignment. It is your soul's response to divine momentum. And once you declare it, the river flows faster, carrying you into everything that was once delayed. When you write, I move now, you are signaling to heaven that hesitation has ended. Those 3 words are your permission slip for destiny to unfold. Your declaration that faith has replaced fear and that you are ready for divine acceleration without delay. Typing I move now means you no longer wait for perfect timing, you move because God has said go. It's not about rushing, it's about responding. Heaven honors motion born from obedience, not pressure. Your movement activates miracles waiting for your agreement. Each I move now becomes a sound wave in the spirit, echoing through unseen corridors. It awakens every dormant promise tied to your name. The moment you declare it, heaven releases momentum, doors open, paths clear, and destiny begins to run toward you. Chosen one, the mantle is being lowered upon your shoulders. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling, it's a revelation. Heaven has been preparing you quietly, training your hands for purpose and your voice for influence. What you carry now is not ordinary favor. It is authority, an invisible crown that marks you as one trusted to represent light. This new mantle does not arrive with applause. It comes with weight. The same God who called prophets in deserts now calls you in the silence of your room. You were chosen not to be noticed, but to be needed. Every moment of preparation, every test, every tear was shaping your spirit to carry this anointing. You are no longer waiting for a platform. You are becoming one. The Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 30. And those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. Chosen one, you have moved through those stages without realizing it. You were chosen long before you believed you were worthy. You were justified when you thought you had failed. Now you are stepping into the stage of glorification, not for your fame, but for God's reflection through you. This mantle of influence is invisible to the world, but undeniable in the spirit. You will notice that your words begin to carry more weight. Your presence brings calm, and your decisions echo far beyond the moment. That is how heaven confirms new authority. It allows impact to speak louder than identity. But understand this, the mantle does not make you superior. It makes you responsible. The higher God lifts you, the lower you must bow. True authority is measured in humility. The anointing you now carry is not for control. It is for compassion. Heaven crowns those who will use their light to lift others from the dark. You may begin to feel a holy restlessness, a stirring that tells you, I was made for more. That feeling is not pride, it's prophecy. You were designed to influence not just through word, but through presence. The way you treat others, the way you handle pressure, the way you choose grace over vengeance, all of it preaches louder than sermons. As this mantle rests on you, heaven whispers, guard it well. Protect your peace like oil in a lamp. For once the oil is gone, the flame dims. Feed your soul daily with prayer, stillness, and gratitude. Those who carry mantles must never forget their source. Now, hear this truth gently. Every divine movement is sustained not only by revelation, but also by relationship. Heaven flows through vessels that stay connected through prayer, through sharing, through partnership. This message you hear now is one stream of that flow, and it exists because hearts like yours choose to keep the river running. When you like, it's more than a gesture, it's a ripple. It tells heaven, "This word reached me." When you share, it's like passing the torch across the darkness, giving another soul permission to believe again. When you subscribe, it's not about following a page, it's about planting yourself by a stream that continues to pour light into your spirit. And if ever your heart feels stirred to donate, think of it as laying another brick in the bridge between this message and the next soul waiting in silence. It is not payment, it is participation. You are helping light travel further, faster, deeper. Just as rain returns to the clouds that once poured it, giving allows the flow of grace to continue. Picture a candle in a vast room. When you offer even the smallest flame of generosity, that candle multiplies. The room brightens not just for you, but for everyone who enters after you. That is what giving does. It transforms receivers into bearers of light. No one is asked, only the willing respond. Every act of support, no matter how small, is a prayer in motion. It whispers to heaven, "Keep the fire alive through me." It's not a transaction, it's a transformation. Chosen one, as you carry this mantle forward. Remember, influence is not measured by numbers but by impact. If this message strengthens your heart, if you feel heaven stirring peace within you, let it overflow naturally. Like, share, and subscribe so that this light continues to reach others walking the same silent road you once walked. And if your heart desires, sow a quiet seed, a donation that says, "Thank you, Lord, for trusting me with this mantle." Do it not out of duty, but out of joy. The most powerful giving is never loud. It is love disguised as action. You are not supporting a voice, you are sustaining a movement. Every click, every share, every offering becomes another echo of hope sent into the world. Chosen one, wear your mantle with gentleness and power. Walk as one whose steps leave light. And remember, every act of love, no matter how small, strengthens the hands of heaven working through you. Chosen one, you are standing in the hour of divine reversal. The wind has shifted, though the world has not noticed it yet. You can feel it beneath your ribs, an unseen turning, a quiet flipping of everything that once pressed you down. The tables that once bore your tears are being set for your triumph. Heaven is not giving you something new. It is restoring what was always yours. Every injustice you endured, every rejection that branded your soul, every delay that made you question your worth, all of it has been accounted for. God never forgets the mathematics of mercy. What was subtracted from your life is now returning multiplied. The scale has been uneven for too long, and heaven has decided to balance it in one swift motion. There were seasons when you felt buried under misunderstanding. People walked away while whispering stories they never understood. You carried blame that did not belong to you. Yet even then, grace followed like a shadow that refused to leave. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being prepared for vindication. Heaven hides the vindicated until the appointed hour. Now that hour is here. The wind that once blew against you is about to lift you. You are entering the divine paradox where loss becomes the language of gain. What looked like subtraction was actually seed. God planted your tears into time, and now they are sprouting into testimony. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 11, "You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy." That is not poetry, it is prophecy. The same ground that tasted your sorrow will echo with your song. The same walls that heard your groaning will now carry your laughter. What was meant to break you has become the material heaven used to build you. Chosen one, divine reversal never arrives with thunder, it comes softly, like dawn light sneaking past the horizon. You will not need to fight for it, it will find you. The favor of God moves quietly, Yet it overturns everything in its path. A conversation you never planned, a door you never noticed, a message at the perfect time. These will be the carriers of your reversal. The things that were once withheld are beginning to move toward you with acceleration. Opportunities that once ignored you will now compete to find you. What was locked will open with a whisper. Even the enemy will not understand how swiftly the shift occurs. That is what happens when heaven says, "Enough." But remember, this reversal is not a reward for endurance. It is a revelation of justice. You endured so long not because God delayed, but because He was designing the perfect unveiling. The waiting was not wasted, it was gathering weight. Now the release carries double strength, double peace, double clarity. Do not be surprised when faces from your past return, not to hurt but to witness. They will see what obedience produces after the storm. You will not need to prove yourself. Your transformation will speak louder than defense ever could. And within this reversal lies something more profound than restoration. It is redemption. Restoration gives back what was lost. But redemption changes the story. You won't merely receive what was taken, you'll receive it purified. The job, the dream, the love, the purpose, all of it will return sanctified, made better by the breaking. Chosen one. Take this in your spirit, nothing was wasted. Even the darkest nights counted toward the light now rising over you. The pain that almost ended you has become the bridge carrying you into promise. You are not stepping into a new chapter. You are stepping into the rewritten version of an old one, this time with joy. Heaven is singing over your life again. You are no longer the one who survived. You are the one who was preserved. The same God who allowed you to be pressed is the God now pulling you into plenty. The hand that closed doors is the same hand unlocking new gates. This is the turning of the tide, the holy reversal of season. Every no has begun to echo as now. Every wait is transforming into walk, and you, chosen one, will walk not as one recovering from loss, but as one crowned by it. The story has turned, and heaven has declared what once broke you will now bless you. You have crossed from sorrow into song, from waiting into witnessing. The echoes of your former pain are becoming melodies of praise. Heaven rewrites endings into beginnings for those who refuse to give up. Every reversal carries revelation. You will look back and realize God never withheld. He restructured. The pain wasn't punishment, it was placement, positioning you for this radiant unfolding of grace. Walk forward softly, knowing the ground beneath you remembers your tears. Now it will bloom under your steps. Every footfall announces fulfillment. The chosen one has entered the season of divine return. Chosen one, listen closely. Heaven's silence is never emptied, and when it feels like the world has gone quiet, it means something sacred is being completed behind the veil. The stillness you sense is not neglect. It is divine activity concealed in calm. What seems paused is actually being perfected. There are times when heaven works so delicately that even angels whisper. You are in that kind of moment now. The silence surrounding you is not the sound of absence. It's the hum of creation. God has been forming the details of your destiny in rooms your eyes cannot see. The quiet that has tested you is the same quiet that is preparing your unveiling. In stillness, God stitches together everything that once fell apart. He has been arranging the right people, timing, and opportunities piece by piece, silently. You've been wondering why nothing seems to move, but movement has been happening in the invisible. The roots of what you prayed for are growing beneath the soil of this silence. The Word of God reminds us through the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15. In quietness and trust is your strength. That single line carries a secret. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the moment when heaven does its best work because your stillness gives it room to operate. You've been trained to equate movement with progress. But in the divine realm, surrender is acceleration. Chosen one, the season of noise taught you to listen, but this season of silence is teaching you to hear. There's a difference between listening and hearing. Listening comes from curiosity. Hearing comes from alignment. Heaven quieted the external world so you could finally recognize its internal voice. The quiet you feel is not punishment, it's prophecy. It means the story is reaching its final chapter before manifestation. The caterpillar's silence inside the cocoon looks like death to the outside world, yet inside, transformation hums with holy energy. You are in that same phase. The stillness is sacred surgery. Be careful not to mistake silence for stagnation. God is often most active when he appears still. Even when nothing seems to change, everything is aligning. You cannot hear construction behind thick walls, but that doesn't mean the builder has stopped working. Heaven has been constructing your next season soundproof, precise, perfect. Chosen one. The world measures faith by words, but heaven measures it by rest. Can you stay calm when there are no signs? Can you trust when there are no answers? That's where real faith lives, in the pause between promise and performance. Do not rush this silence. It is not an empty hallway, it is a holy waiting room. If you try to leave too soon, you will interrupt what heaven is finalizing. Stay still long enough for the ink of destiny to dry. This silence is also your shield. God has covered your process from eyes that would misunderstand it. There are blessings that only bloom in privacy. When the world cannot see, heaven can work freely. Your isolation has been divine insulation. And here lies the mystery when the silence breaks. It will not be gradual, it will be sudden. The same way dawn arrives without sound but changes everything, so will your unveiling come quietly, completely, unmistakably. The moment will arrive when heaven whispers now, and every delayed door will open at once. Chosen one, don't just endure the silence, inhabit it. Let peace become your dwelling. Let trust be your language. In this quiet space, you are not losing time. You are gaining power. What emerges from stillness never returns the same. If your heart recognizes this truth, respond with a prophetic act. Comment 555. This number symbolizes divine change and heavenly completion through transformation. When you type 555, you're saying to heaven, I no longer fear the quiet. I know it carries my becoming. Each 5 represents grace past, present, and future, all working together in divine harmony. By writing 555, you align yourself with the rhythm of heaven's timing, declaring that what feels paused is being perfected. Let it be more than numbers. Let it be a confession of peace. You are not waiting in silence, you are growing in it. Soon, the hush around you will break into hallelujahs, and you will understand why heaven had to finish your miracle in secret. When you type 555, you're not calling for change, you are agreeing with it. You're acknowledging that this silence is sacred, that what feels still is actually filled with movement orchestrated by heaven itself. Each 5 echoes grace, the first for what was, the second for what is, and the third for what's coming. It's heaven's gentle reminder that your story has never left divine supervision. Every pause has purpose, and every still moment is heavy with unseen progress. So write 555 as your seal of trust. Let heaven read it as your surrender and strength combined. You're telling the universe, I'm at peace with the pause because I know who's working in the silence. Chosen one, the time of slumber is ending. Deep within your spirit, something ancient has begun to stir, an awakening that does not shout, but roars softly beneath your ribs. The warrior light within you, once dimmed by disappointment, is flickering back to life. Heaven is breathing into the embers of your purpose, calling you to remember who you were before pain tried to make you forget. For too long, you have mistaken exhaustion for defeat. You thought you were running out of strength, but what was really happening was renewal. God has been letting the lesser lights fade so the truer flame could rise. You are not weak, you are awakening. Every broken piece of you is finding its place in the mosaic of divine design. There comes a moment when a chosen one can no longer pretend to be ordinary. That moment is now. The fire you tried to silence can no longer be contained. It is not arrogance, it is awareness. You are remembering that your light was never borrowed, it was born within you, as written in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That verse is your identity. You are not trying to become light, you are rediscovering that you always were. Every battle you fought was an attempt by darkness to convince you otherwise. But here you are, still standing, still glowing. The very fact that you survived is proof that your light cannot be extinguished, only hidden for a time. Chosen one. The awakening is not gentle because your calling is not small. Heaven is shaking off the dust of fear and failure from your spirit. The roar you've been hearing in your dreams, the stirring you've been feeling at midnight, it's the sound of your divine self remembering its mission. You were never meant to hide, you were meant to illuminate. There is a reason your presence unsettles darkness. Light is not neutral, it disrupts. The rooms that grew cold when you entered, the sudden tension you felt among people you once called friends, it was never personal. Your spirit's frequency exposes what others would rather keep unseen. That is why the rejection had to happen. It was heaven's way of protecting your glow. You are being called now not to fight with fists, but with flame. Your power is not in retaliation, but revelation. The awakened ones do not argue with darkness, they outshine it. Every act of kindness, every truth spoken in love, every boundary drawn in peace is warfare of a higher kind. You win not by shouting, but by shining. Chosen one. This awakening is not just for you, it's for every life your light will touch. The people drawn to you are not random. They are guided by resonance. Their spirits recognize what you carry, even when their minds do not understand it. That is why you can't stay small. When you hide your fire, the world grows colder. Do not fear your intensity. You were never designed to blend in with dimness. The world needs your full brightness, your compassion, your wisdom, your holy defiance. The awakening may feel like fire in your bones, but it is not meant to burn you. It is meant to burn away what no longer belongs. You will feel it in your words, in your prayers, in the way peace begins to linger after you leave a place. That's how you'll know the awakening has taken root. The light is no longer something you carry, it is something you are. Chosen one. Remember, the first act of creation was not the forming of stars, it was the command. Let there be light. That same decree still echoes through your veins. Every time you rise, forgive and love again, you are answering that eternal command. You are the continuation of creation. This awakening will not end with you, it will flow through you. Every soul you touch becomes a mirror reflecting that same flame. You are heaven's spark passed from heart to heart until the night no longer feels endless. So walk boldly, yet softly. Speak truth with the tenderness of dawn. Wherever you go, darkness will have to readjust its boundaries. For when the chosen awaken, the world changes shape. You are the light breaking centuries of silence. Every step you take sends ripples through the unseen, awakening others who forgot their glow. Heaven smiles, watching creation remember its brightness through the flame now burning steady within you. Do not doubt the flicker, it is divine memory returning. Your breath carries the same spark that once ignited galaxies. You are proof that darkness never wins. It merely waits for the chosen to awaken again. Walk as light clothed in mercy. Wherever your shadow falls, may it be a soft reminder that redemption walked there first. The awakening has begun, and through you, the night finally learns how to bow to dawn. Chosen one, there will come a time when the world begins to recognize what heaven already knew about you. That time is now. Recognition does not come as applause, it arrives as alignment. Circumstances begin to make sense. People who once dismissed you start to remember your name. Doors that stayed closed for years suddenly open without effort. But this visibility is not vanity, it's verification. Heaven is confirming the work it completed in secret. For so long you were hidden, misunderstood, even overlooked. It wasn't because you lacked light, it was because the world wasn't ready to see it. Some seasons are designed for concealment, not punishment. You were protected until your purity was proven, until your heart could hold honor without needing validation. What felt like rejection was really redirection, leading you to the stage prepared for your spirit. You are stepping into a chapter where divine recognition meets humble readiness. You don't need to announce your arrival. Your transformation will do that for you. Your voice will carry a quiet authority, the kind that doesn't demand attention but commands it naturally. You've graduated from chasing approval to walking in purpose, as written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 29. Do you see a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. That word is your confirmation. Diligence in the dark has prepared you for visibility in the light. The kings in that verse are not just rulers, they symbolize influence, opportunity, and the fulfillment of calling. You have been faithful with small things. Now heaven can trust you with larger ground. Chosen one, this recognition will come in subtle ways. You may receive unexpected favor, a message, an invitation, or a platform that feels too great for your name. Do not shrink back. When heaven opens doors, humility does not hide, it walks through quietly, knowing who sent the invitation. You are not here by luck, you are here by lineage. You carry the mark of divine appointment. The world will call it timing, but you'll know it's testimony. Every unseen battle, every season of silence, every hour of prayer was preparation for this unveiling. You have been standing in the shadows long enough. The light that now finds you is not random, it is returning. What you released in faith years ago is circling back with increase. Recognition, however, is not about being seen, it's about being stationed. Heaven is positioning you where your presence matters most. You are being placed as an answer, not an ornament. When others encounter you, they will sense peace first, not pride. Your calmness will carry authority because it comes from surviving chaos. Be mindful. Chosen one. This new visibility is not a finish line, it is a platform for service. Fame fades, but favor functions. The true reward of recognition is responsibility. You will find yourself speaking life into those who once ignored you, helping those who once doubted you. This is the beauty of redemption, it rewrites what others meant for harm into healing for all. And you will notice something else, the very places that once rejected you will now request your presence. The environments that silenced your truth will now need your voice. not because you sought revenge, but because heaven's justice restores balance. Those who once said, "Who do you think you are?" will now say, "How did you endure?" This recognition will not intoxicate you. It will humble you. You'll realize that influence is not given for glory, but for guidance. You were hidden to learn compassion so that when power arrived, it would not corrupt you. Heaven knew that if you gained recognition too early, you might lose your soul trying to keep it. But now, you have matured past that danger. Chosen one. Wear this new visibility like a robe, not armor. Let it drape, not harden. Recognition is not a shield. It is a signal that your time of usefulness has arrived. The stage you stand on now was not built for your ego, but for your echo to reflect heaven's tone into hearts still sleeping. You will soon notice divine appointments multiplying conversations that change direction, chance meetings that spark purpose, connections that carry weight. These are not random, they are revelations. Each one confirms that heaven has moved you from waiting to walking, from preparation to performance. And when you finally stand in the fullness of recognition, you'll realize something sacred. It was never about being seen by people, it was about being seen by purpose. Every eye that turns toward you now is not admiration, it is activation. You were hidden so that when the world finally looked your way, it would not just see you, it would see God through you. Chosen one, the world's eyes are opening. Let yours stay closed in gratitude. Recognition is not the reward, it is the reminder. You were seen all along, even when unseen by others. Now the light simply reveals what heaven has always known about you. Chosen one, the crown of completion is drawing near. Heaven has watched your journey, the fire, the silence, the surrender, and now the circle is closing. You have walked through the wilderness as a student, but you are leaving it as a steward. The crown you receive is not made of gold or jewels, it is made of resilience, faith, and divine consistency. There were moments when you thought you'd lost your strength, when your prayers sounded like whispers trapped in a storm. Yet you kept walking. That is what heaven crowns, not perfection, but perseverance. Every tear became a gem, every test a thread woven into the tapestry of your coronation. The Word of God declares in the second letter of Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." This is your anthem now. You are crossing the finish line of one season and standing at the gate of another. What was heavy is lifting, what was broken is binding, and what was hidden is shining again. The fire that once tested you now lights your path forward. Chosen one, you are not the same person who began this journey. You have been refined in sacred flame. Your heart, once fragile, now beats with unshakable calm. You have learned to trust not the speed of the process, but the stability of God's hand. You wear your scars as proof that grace is real. Heaven crowns those who did not quit when quitting seemed logical. Your reward is not material, it is spiritual authority. When you speak, peace follows. When you enter a room, tension dissolves. That is what divine completion looks like, not applause, but atmosphere changing wherever you go. But remember, crowns are not decorations, they are assignments. To wear one means to serve. Heaven's royalty is recognized not by how high it stands, but by how low it bends to lift others. You are crowned not to rule, but to redeem. And in this sacred transition, heaven asks only one thing of you: keep the river flowing. Every message, every spark of light you've received here has been part of that current. If it has nourished you, let it travel further. When you like, it's as if you place a stone in the river, helping it ripple wider. When you share, you release that ripple downstream, where someone thirsty for hope waits unknowingly. When you comment, It is like engraving a memory into the riverbank. Each word you leave behind becomes a soft echo that reminds another soul. You're not alone in this journey. When you subscribe, think of it not as clicking a button, but as building a bridge. You are saying, I choose to stay connected to the flow that restored me. And if ever your heart whispers to donate, imagine you are pouring oil into a lamp whose flame continues to guide travelers through their own dark valleys. Nothing here is asked of you. Everything is offered to you. The choice to give, to share, to support, these are not demands but dances. You move only if your spirit feels the rhythm. Generosity was never meant to be forced. It is the fragrance of gratitude. When you give freely, it is not payment, it is poetry. Picture this, a garden at dawn. Every like becomes a seed. Every share a breeze spreading its scent. Every comment a root deepening connection. Every subscription a trunk reaching toward heaven. And every donation a drop of water ensuring it grows strong for those who come after you. That is how heaven sustains what it starts, through willing hearts, not required hands. Chosen one, your crown glows not because of achievement, but because of alignment. You are proof that surrender shines brighter than striving. The weight you carry now is not a burden, it's glory disguised as responsibility. The world will see it as success, but you will know it as stewardship. And as you step into the light, remember, crowns are not meant to be kept. They are meant to be cast back at His feet. Every good thing you build, every life you touch, every ripple you start will rise like incense back to heaven. So walk forward gently, crowned and humbled, radiant and real. Let your life become a psalm written in motion, a story of surrender that turned into strength. If this message has touched your heart, let your spirit decide its echo. Whether you plant a seed through like, breathe wind into it through share, leave your mark through comment, remain connected through subscribe, or pour unseen oil through donate, do it as worship, not obligation. Every act, no matter how small, keeps this light alive for another soul waiting in silence. You are crowned, not just for surviving, but for becoming. The circle is complete, and the crown fits perfectly. And now, walk forward with quiet glory. The heavens applaud softly, not for your triumph, but for your transformation. You are the proof that faith finishes what fear could never begin. Shine gently, crowned one, chosen one. There are moments in history when heaven bends closer to earth, when time itself seems to hold its breath. This Christmas night carries that same divine stillness. It is not just a holiday. It is a holy hinge, a sacred turning point between what has been and what is about to begin. The heavens are aligning to mark your transition from hidden to heralded, from preparation to purpose. This night is layered with mystery. Beneath the sound of carols and candlelight, there is a spiritual heartbeat pulsing through creation. The same voice that spoke, "Let there be light," over a dark and waiting world now whispers that command into your spirit again. You are the living echo of that ancient word. The light has come, and it rises within you, as written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verse 11. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. That announcement, once delivered to shepherds under a silent sky, was not just history, it was prophecy for every generation. On that night, heaven proved that its greatest miracles are born quietly, far from crowds and noise, and so it is with you. Your miracle is being revealed under the same star of secrecy. You have been walking through your own Bethlehem, humble, hidden, and holy. It did not look like the palace you imagined. It looked like a stable, small and unfinished. But that's where heaven loves to arrive. The places that feel least prepared are often the most chosen. God births greatness in ordinary spaces so no one mistakes it for human design. This Christmas night is your Bethlehem moment. Something divine is being born in your spirit, an idea, a mission, a calling that will carry light into dark corners. It may begin in simplicity, in whispered prayer or quiet resolve, but do not despise its smallness. Every eternal thing starts that way. The star shines not to announce perfection, but potential. Chosen one. You may feel the contrast of emotions tonight, the gratitude for how far you've come and the ache for what's still unseen. That tension is holy ground. It is proof that your heart still listens for heaven's rhythm. The same angels that sang over Bethlehem are singing again, this time over your obedience. You are entering a divine exchange. Every disappointment from the year behind you becomes the soil for what's about to grow. The battles that left scars will soon yield beauty. This night, heaven writes your next chapter not with ink, but with light. The silence that once surrounded you is now the canvas where glory will be revealed. Let this night remind you that divine timing is never late. It is layered. The shepherds waited in darkness before hearing good news. Mary carried the promise in quiet trust before the world believed her. You, too, have carried unseen glory. The wait was not wasted. It was worship. When morning comes, you will feel lighter, clearer, ready. Something within you will have shifted not by effort, but by encounter. Heaven moves like that subtly, powerfully, irreversibly. The same star that guided the wise will guide you through the coming days. Its light does not fade after Christmas, it deepens. Chosen one. This is not the end of your waiting, it is the beginning of your walking. You are no longer hidden in process, you are held in promise. Heaven has confirmed your identity through every trial. Tonight marks the unveiling of what the silence concealed. Look around you, the world seems quiet, almost unaware of the spiritual magnitude of this hour. But heaven knows. Angels hover near, carrying the sound of completion. The same voice that called you years ago now whispers, "It is time." Your steps from this night onward will not echo the same. They will carry a new weight, a new authority, a new fragrance of peace. You have been tested and found trustworthy. Now, heaven entrusts you with visibility, with responsibility, with radiance. The humble manger became the proof that glory can dwell in simplicity. Likewise, your life will prove that divine power can rest in fragile flesh. You are not waiting for heaven to move. Heaven is waiting for you to step forward and shine. So let this Christmas night be more than a celebration. It is consecration. The night heaven crowned humility, it also crowned you. You are part of that same lineage of light. Chosen one, breathe deeply. The air tonight is holy. The same presence that filled the stable now fills the space around you. And as stars hang quietly over the sleeping world, know this: heaven's eyes are fixed on you, and the story written in secret is about to be spoken aloud. The night wraps you in divine stillness, whispering promises only your spirit can hear. Heaven leans close, and the silence itself begins to glow with unspoken prophecy and peace. When dawn arrives, it will not bring an ending but a beginning. You will rise carrying Bethlehem's light, quiet yet unstoppable, chosen to illuminate the path for others. Chosen one, the journey has come full circle. What began in uncertainty now ends in understanding. You have walked through the wilderness of waiting, through storms of silence and nights of hidden fire. You've been emptied, refined, restored, and now you stand at the edge of revelation. This is not an ending, it is an unveiling. The mystery of your pain has turned into the language of your purpose. The path behind you was not wasted, it was woven. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unseen tear was a thread in a divine tapestry you couldn't yet recognize. Heaven has been writing your story in symmetry, and now the pattern is visible. What you thought were fragments were actually foundations. What you thought were losses were lessons. Every moment carried purpose disguised as difficulty. The Word of God speaks through the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. That verse isn't a cliche, it's your confirmation. Beauty was never absent, it was simply in process. The potter never abandoned his clay. He was shaping it quietly, pressing gently, forming something eternal from the dust of your endurance. You were never forgotten, you were being fashioned. Chosen one. This is the season of becoming. You are no longer the version of yourself that once begged heaven for clarity. Now, you move with peace even in mystery, with faith even in fog. The same hands that broke you have also blessed you, and in their divine pressure, you found strength you didn't know existed. The marks left by the journey are not scars. They are seals of authenticity. The broken edges of your soul now reflect light more clearly than perfection ever could. Heaven delights in those who carry both tenderness and tenacity. You are one of them. There was a time you thought destiny would feel like a destination. Now you know better. It feels like peace. It feels like waking up one day and realizing you no longer crave what was never meant for you. You no longer chase what cannot carry your weight. That quiet contentment is the fruit of your transformation. Chosen one, look how much you've changed without noticing. You forgive faster now. You speak softer, yet your words carry more weight. You walk slower, but your steps are surer. You have learned that divine strength doesn't always roar, it sometimes whispers. That's the kind of strength that remains when everything else fades. Heaven has been teaching you how to live from stillness, not striving, to respond, not react, to discern, not merely decide. This is maturity, the sacred calm of a spirit anchored in eternal truth. The storms that once terrified you now only test your stability, and you pass everyone because you know who's in the boat with you. Your faith has evolved from a cry for rescue to a rhythm of rest. That's what heaven wanted all along. You were never being tested to prove your worth, but to reveal your resilience. What you've endured has not reduced you. It has refined you into one who carries wisdom like fragrance. Chosen one. The final revelation of this journey is simple yet sacred. You were never walking alone. Even in silence, heaven was speaking. Even in the breaking, love was building. The loneliness you felt was actually an invitation to intimacy. You mistook divine nearness for absence because heaven's touch was too deep to be seen. Now you know. The unseen hand was steady all along. The places you stumbled became the altars of your awakening. The tears you shed became rivers of compassion. The pain that once felt like punishment has turned into purpose so powerful it humbles you to speak it aloud. You've learned to bless the breaking, to see that even the detours were divine, to thank God not only for the doors He opened, but for the ones He closed before they could destroy you. That is wisdom. That is worship. Chosen one. This is your benediction, the blessing that marks the end of one calling and the beginning of another. You are stepping out of survival and into stewardship. You no longer pray to be delivered from storms. You now pray to carry peace through them. The world may never understand what it cost you to reach this calm, but heaven knows, and that is enough. The angels who once guarded your weakness now celebrate your strength. You have become the evidence of endurance, the living proof that grace finishes what faith begins. So stand tall in quiet glory. You have not been made new, you have been made whole. Every season served its purpose. Every silence had its reason. Every loss was a hidden ladder leading you higher. You are ready now not to start over, but to stand fully in what was always yours, the peace that passes understanding, the power that moves without striving, and the joy that cannot be stolen. The journey has not ended, it has evolved, and heaven smiles, whispering over you one final truth: it is finished. But it has only just begun. Chosen one, if these words have walked beside you through the silence, the fire, and the awakening, then let this final moment be one of gratitude. You are part of something greater than a message. You are part of a movement of light. Every story healed, every heart strengthened, every soul reignited becomes another thread in this divine tapestry. If this journey has touched your spirit, let it ripple outward. When you like, it's more than a button, it's a quiet whisper to heaven saying, "This light reached me." When you share, you open a window for someone else who is still searching for their dawn. Your simple action becomes a lantern in another soul's night. When you comment, your words become living stones, marking the places where revelation met you. Each thought you leave behind is a message to someone unseen. You are not alone. The light found me too. When you subscribe, it's a gentle promise to keep walking with this flow of faith and fire. You're saying, "I'm ready to grow deeper," not just listen once. It's not about following a voice, it's about staying connected to a current of truth. And if ever your heart feels led to donate, let it come from stillness, not obligation. See it as watering the garden that once fed you. Every drop sustains the light for others who haven't yet found it. No demand, no pressure, only participation in grace. This is how light travels, not by force, but by faith. Each small act alike, a share, a comment, a seed keeps the message alive, glowing quietly through the noise of the world. So walk forward uncrowned and calm. Carry this fire gently, Tamai. You are proof that heaven still speaks through willing hearts.